Good afternoon to the Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank, Malaysia. Today we welcome Jeffrey Halley, Senior Market Analyst, Asia Pacific at OANDA, as our guest today. Good afternoon, Jeff.
And good afternoon to everyone.
Now, Jeff, before we get your insights, let's take a look at how crypto markets are performing, and then we'll take a look at regional markets. We start with crypto markets. Bitcoin is at 46,726. It's up 1.4%. Ethereum is at 3,518.6. It's up 0.62%. Now, markets in Hong Kong and mainland China are closed today for a holiday. So we start with the SGX, which is at 3,428.52. It's up 0.34%. Over at Bursa Malaysia, it's at 1,596.4. It's down 0.16%. The ASX All Ordinaries is at 7,823.7. It's up 0.06%. The Nikkei is at 27,799.5. It's up 0.25%. And rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is at 2,757.14. It's down 0.03%. Now, Jeff, what's your view on how markets have performed this morning?
Well, as you said, we have a China mainland holiday again, and also Hong Kong, and I think that's very much muting volumes in Asia today. Also, it was a reasonably quiet day on the data front as well, and that's left Asian markets sort of treading water. We saw a great session in the New York session overnight after Elon Musk got his debit card out and bought just under 10% of Twitter. And that lifted technology stocks in particular. The Nasdaq was up, I think, around 1.9%. That's been enough to move Asia gently into the positive today, but not set the world on fire. I think we're going to have to wait until all the PMIs, the services PMIs come out in Europe and the US tonight. And with China back tomorrow, we'll get back to more normal trading volumes.
Now, Jeff, just a few minutes ago, the Reserve Bank of Australia announced that it would keep its cash rate target unchanged at 0.1%. What's your take on this?
There's been a slight tone in language. So universally, the whole world thought it would be an unchanged rate at 0.1%, but they've dropped the word patient from their statement as far as waiting for signals in order to think about changing monetary policy to the tighter side again. We've seen an immediate reaction in Australia. Those markets were up about 0.6%, the ASX and the All Ords running into that decision. They've immediately moved back to flat, and we can see that the Australian dollar is just creeping up above 76 now. It's up 0.7% on the day. So a slight change in tone to the hawkish side for the RBA, and that's the immediate effects that we're seeing.
Now, Jeff, you've just published your daily market commentary a few minutes ago. Tell us some of the key highlights of your commentary.
Well, look, the RBA was going to be the main one, and for once I've got it exactly right, so I'm as surprised as everybody watching. So I'll take that win. We have a very quiet day today in Asia. We've had some pretty soggy data out of Japan, household spending, and they've been trying to jawbone down dollar yen with basically no success today. So I think dollar yen itself has seen the worst of its correction lower now, and they're not going to be able to jawbone it down like that they used to, particularly with US yields remaining higher. Today we've got PMIs, services PMIs from all over Europe, and then the ISM non-manufacturing PMI from the US. Again, I think those PMIs, those services PMIs, are going to be pretty soggy in Europe for obvious reasons over the last month, we all know. But the ISM one, if it shows the underlying strength we've seen in the other recent data in the US, we could see the euro come under more pressure. It fell overnight on worries that Europe would sanction Russian energy, and we could see that continue. And I think it's going to be a tough day for European equities as well.
Now, Jeff, looking at markets today, what are some of the key risks that concern you, besides obviously the geopolitical issues?
I think it's really the China COVID situation. Now, they've extended that Shanghai lockdown. They've tested 26 million people, which I think is an incredible feat in a few days. But the cases rose in Shanghai, I think, to 13,000 roughly today. So that's a concern. They've extended that lockdown indefinitely now. I think the real concern here for me with COVID-19, and I think this is perhaps why also Asian equities are being held back slightly, is that we start seeing a much wider distribution of this Omicron variant across China, leading to much bigger shutdowns, perhaps extended. That would impact China growth, it would impact Asia regional growth, it would also cause huge supply chain disruptions once again if key ports have to close because of it. So to me, that's the real factor that I'm watching risk-wise in Asia at the moment.
As always, Jeff, thank you very much for coming on your show, and thank you very much for your insights.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Now, we've been speaking to Jeffrey Halley, Senior Market Analyst, Asia Pacific at OANDA, on Biztech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank Malaysia. I'm Brian Fernandez. This video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as Rajhi Bank's social media platforms. Please subscribe and like our various platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in.